In Joshua chapter 13, the Lord tells Joshua that his work leading the Israelites against enemies, it isn't quite done yet. And then he goes off to list a number of the enemies. And one of the enemies' names is interesting, not because it's an interesting name, but because there's an interesting connection with it. But he says one of the enemies that the Lord is going to lead them against is the Gebalites. That may or may not mean anything to you, but the Gebalites were from a place called Gebel, but Gebel had another name, maybe a nickname that it had been given. It was also called Byblos. And you might be thinking, ooh, that sounds like an English word of ours. It sounds like the word Bible. And that's the reason they were called Byblos. And that is the place where we get our word Bible from. These people who were coming against the Israelites who lived in Byblos, they were well known for something. They were well known for producing like paper that you could write on, parchments that you could write on, and so well known for it that the paper and the parchments that they produced there in Byblos would be sent out to many other places in the world because people were so eager to have the things that they could write things on so that they could document things. And one of the things that it seems may have been documented on this paper that came from Byblos was, in fact, the Bible, the earliest forms of it. And so there, God did something that many, many years later, God promised he would do when he shared this promise with the Apostle Paul, and the Apostle Paul shared it with us. You know, the promise in the book of Romans where it says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. That's an example that reminds us that God has always been doing that. You know, God doesn't change. He's always been that God who takes whatever happens in our lives, whether it's easy or difficult, even the unloving actions of others, and he takes that and works it all together in a way that serves his purposes so well and serves us so well. And because that's always true, we know that that's true today too. You think of all the different things happening in your life, the good things, the hard things, the expected things, the surprising things, the smooth things, the painful things, what people have done to you, what they haven't done for you. All of that is included in the promise that God is working all things for our good. And not just those things, but at least one other thing. Even the things about you that make you hurt inside. Today is just like any other day in the sense that it's a day when you're likely to feel guilty about something. Someone you let down, something you left undone, something you didn't get done. You didn't have enough energy, you didn't have enough determination. Your heart wasn't filled with enough love. And whenever you realized any of those things, I bet it hurt. So let God heal that hurt with a reminder that he takes all things, even our all things, and always works it for good. Just like he did at the cross, where he took the most unloving actions of all and the ugliest sins that have ever existed, and he took it all in his hands and gave you a place in heaven. He gave you something good. And he won't fail to do that today. No matter who you are. No matter whatever happens. Rest well tonight, my friends.